All right, we got Jefferson High School's finest in the building. Joining me now, Malaki Starks, 27th overall pick by the Baltimore Ravens. And Malaki, you might not remember me. You might not remember this, but I actually interviewed you the day that you signed on the dotted line to go play for the University of Georgia. Your hair's gotten longer. My hair's gotten shorter. It was in December of 2021. It's been a long journey since then. You've done a whole lot. And my question to you, just to start off this Q&A, is have you had a moment to even sit and reflect on what this journey has been like from that moment you signed the dotted line to go to Georgia, you play your entire career, you have an incredible career, and now you're headed to the NFL. Have you had a second to really sit back and think about what it's all been like?
Yeah. I think yesterday was like the first time I had actually got a second to kind of breathe. It's been more of a crazy process because so I got drafted. I flew out there, and then I got home. What was that, Sunday? And my phone broke. Like as soon as I got home, my phone broke. So like I was getting all these texts, and like I could hear my text messages, but my screen was broke, so I couldn't reply. Like I couldn't. It was crazy. But I didn't really have a choice. I literally just got my phone back yesterday. Like around like 1 or 2. So during that time where I didn't have my phone, I was at home with my parents and my fiance, and we were all just like kind of talking. And I finally got a second to just like kind of breathe and take it all in. It's been a long process, but I'm really grateful.
I feel like we had to stop real quick there. How did you break your phone, man?
I don't know. So it was perfectly fine. Like we were on the flight, we got home, my phone was fine. We're on the drive home. It's like an hour from Atlanta. My phone was fine. I got home, I sat my phone down, I took a shower, I got out the shower, and my like screen was just green. Like it was green, and then like it would turn off and be black, and it would turn on and be green again. But like I could hear my notifications, but like I couldn't get on my phone. So it added a little bit of chaos, but it all worked out.
I got to ask you one more question on that then. Is it been weird? Because naturally you get drafted. Everybody's trying to hit you up and call you, text you. Is it stressful knowing that you're like, I can't respond to any of these people? I appreciate the calls, but I can't do anything about it.
Yeah, no, it was, I figured people would think I already went Hollywood on them. Even though that wasn't the case, I literally couldn't get on my phone. But it was frustrating because some of my guys were still going through the process of getting drafted, and I was watching the draft, and I was so excited for, my guys that got picked up, but I couldn't reach out. So it was frustrating, but it made everything a bit more calm too at the same time. So.
Well, I'm glad that your phone was working when you actually got the call to join the Baltimore Ravens. I had a chance to watch that first call, and really one of the first things they said is, you fit us. They were fired up to draft you, Malaki. It's very clear. What does it mean to have a team call you that clearly they wanted you a whole lot?
It's everything. This is a crazy process, and you don't really know it until you go through it. But just to be part of an organization that like wants to take a shot on you, like there's so many guys going through this process. And for somebody to single you out and say, hey, like, we believe in that guy, we want to take a shot on him, that means the world to me. Because, I mean, obviously they know, but they never know how much that phone call changed my life. And not even just from, like, financial or football standpoint, just, like, the opportunity that it brings. Just the opportunities that I get to take advantage of and the people I get to learn from and the people I get to meet. That's going to open more doors for me and my family. I mean, it's a huge blessing.
Look, and you obviously had to make some phone calls after you got drafted. Who were the first people that you called in, obviously, I think, with the help of Verizon?
Yeah, so with the help of Verizon, the first person I called was my sister, because she was at home, and she wasn't able to make it. She had the kids, so she couldn't come. My mom, my dad, and my fiance were all there with me, but no, that first call was to my sister back at the house because she was watching, and she's been such a big role in my development and who I am as a person. So just to be able to have that special moment with her, it was kind of cool because they call your name, you walk on the stage, you celebrate, and then like you go straight to media. So it's like you're like in it for like 2 hours straight. But with Verizon, it was really cool. Like they had like the setup was awesome. I got to sit down, so like I really had a moment to just kind of like talk to my sister and not like worry about cameras or whatever. Like it was really just a moment between me and my sister, and I'm forever grateful for that.
Just absolutely incredible, man. Well, congratulations, obviously, with all of that as well. I want to push forward here and just ask you about the fit. They said you fit us. The conversations, what were they like leading up to the draft with the Baltimore Ravens? Were they a team that you felt like you could end up going to? And how have they said that you will fit within their system?
Yeah, so I met with the Ravens at the combine, and that was pretty much it. But I mean, our meeting was great. The meeting was awesome. I mean, they have an incredible staff, incredible players there as well, and just like the things they do in their defense, they're very versatile. So like we call it we call it like a positionless defense. So like with that being said, a lot of guys have to know a different spot so they can move around, they can play different defense. So it brings a different dynamic and more value to the defense as well. You're able to do things more in the back end that helps with the front end as well, and vice versa. So just being able, for me at my time at the University of Georgia, just being able to move around and play different spots, um, it's allowed me to step into this organization and kind of do the same thing, but also learn from the guys that's there. And I think it's a great fit. I like the way I play ball, and I think they see that. And I think it fits like their culture as well. And I think it's kind of close to the culture that was at the University of Georgia. So it's a great fit.
Well, I'm curious, too, there's going to be a man on the other side of the coaching staff that has a relationship with you. Obviously, was at the University of Georgia. Tell me a little bit more about that. How excited for you to see Todd Monken again?
So I saw him during my press conference. And I gave him a huge hug. Coach Monken was awesome. He was a really big part of my development too as well. Just the stuff that I was able to learn from him while I was at the University of Georgia. I mean, Coach Monken he's the top of the top. And I remember I spent a long time trying to get on the offensive side of the ball. But he didn't need me because they had Brock, they had AD, they had Ladd, they had all these guys who didn't need my help at all. So it wasn't going to work out. But I'm excited to go back to work and battle against him on a day-to-day basis.
Actually, another local guy, Marist product, Kyle Hamilton, also in that secondary with you. Another high draft pick by them, another safety. A guy that has really made a real name for himself at the NFL already as a young player. Is he a guy that you've watched in the past? Do you have any relationship with him already?
Yeah, so I watched a lot of his tape actually during this process and during my time at the University of Georgia because I remember when he came out, he was the elite of the elite. So just being able to watch his film and kind of take pieces of his game and put it in the mind and then watch his film while he was there as well. I think it's huge, and I'm excited to get in there and learn from him. Just the knowledge of ball that he has, and just the way that they do things there. Every organization is different. So really, I'm really excited to learn what it means to be a Raven and kind of dive into that. And also like a lot of elite guys that's in the room as well. The room is very deep, so just for me to be able to come in and learn from a lot of elite guys, I'm excited.
It's interesting. Do you see any similarities between the University of Georgia, how they are as a program, to what that franchise is, the Ravens? Defense first. I'm sure they practice hard. Do you see any similarities between these two sides?
Yeah, it's tough, and you get what you earn, and they know how to win. I think that's the biggest thing. I was so excited. Everybody talks about pick and number, and obviously you want to go as high as you can, but like you land right where you need to land. And that was a big thing for me. God had already written my story out for me, and I landed in the perfect spot. It literally couldn't be a more perfect fit coming from the University of Georgia. The discipline that it takes there, and how they run their program. I kind of see it in the same way with the Ravens. So I'm just excited to take one transition from an elite program to another and just learn from the guys that were there as I did before the University of Georgia.
I know you mentioned number of where you were going to get picked, but you actually got to keep the same number that you got to wear in college. Why was it important for you? Did you have to go and ask anybody for it? What was that process like?
Yeah. So my number is for my cousin who passed away when I was little. He started playing football because of me. And then he switched to 24, and I switched out of it. He was 9, I was 7, and then he passed away at the age of 9 of a homicidal suicide. So I've been wearing 24 ever since for him. And it's so special to me. And that was like the first thing. Like after I got done with me and I was driving back to the hotel, I went to the roster because I already kind of knew, but I went to the roster and I looked up numbers and stuff. And I got to the facility and I was like, hey, like if somebody has it, I don't want to take it. like I'm not trying to come in and, because other people have meaningful numbers too. So like I'm not trying to come in and take it. I'll wear whatever number. At the end of the day, as long as I'm on the field, I don't care if I'm wearing 24 or 72. It don't matter. But they said it was open and I could get it. So it's really a special moment for me. Just because I kind of represent him. As long as I do what I need to do, his name will never be forgotten. So just to kind of have that moment and take it with me from little league all the way to the league has always been our dream. So it's just a full circle moment.
You wore that number 24 and got a lot accomplished at Georgia. National champion, an All-American, first team All-American, All-SEC, All-Freshman. You really made an impact from like the very moment that you got on the field at the University of Georgia. I'm curious if you could take a second and look back. Was there a moment that you felt like that you had finally arrived? Because I'm going to go back. I'm going to check the tape. I'm going to find this play. Is there a play and moment where you felt like this is my welcome to college football moment and I finally arrived?
Yeah, but I wouldn't even say it's during the game. I think there's two. So I think during camp, my freshman year, it was a long week and we were going at it. Offense and defense were going at it, and like I was able to run around and fly around and make plays and have fun. And it felt like I belonged. It felt like I was where I needed to be. And then I was guarding the best tight end in the country, Brock Bowers. I mean, like, and I wasn't doing that bad of a job either. Me and him were going at it. And for me to come in as a freshman, just battle with him, that really, helped my confidence. And I learned a lot from him as well. And then just going in the first game, and then my first pick that I made, just kind of starting off my career like that and just showing, who I am and what I can do. I think it helped me a lot. And I think it was kind of like okay, I belong, let's go to work type deal.
That first pick was inside an NFL stadium. You'll have an opportunity to play in a lot of NFL stadiums over the next coming years. I'm very excited for you, Malaki. Congratulations, all your success moving forward. I'm going to send you that video of our interview back in 2021. I'll send it to you on Instagram.
Thank you.